Hey, hey, hey. Come on in the room. Come on in the room.
We do not own the rights to this music.
We don't own the rights to none of this music. It's all Musiq Soulchild. Do me a favor. Share. Share. We want to share so we can want you all to be a part of this great experience on tonight. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. We talking about it tonight. Come on, jump in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Hey y'all. All right. Welcome to Coffee and Conversation. We just grateful for you all to taking some time out your busy schedule to join us and to be with us as we are talking today. From a man's point of view, I've got my beautiful wife with me, and she is sitting beside me on the night as we are talking to men. Okay, so listen. Over the last several weeks, we've been talking to women, and we've been talking to singles about being single and some of the challenges that they face. But tonight, we're talking to the brothers. And I got my brothers with me. I made a phone call. I said, hey, y'all, I need y'all to come on. I want y'all to talk about a man's point of view. And not one of them said no. Not one of them said, I got to think about it. I got to check my schedule. But they all said they would it. They are all in and ready to have a conversation. So I'm super excited about that on tonight. And I got my brothers with me. I'm going to introduce them one at a time. And listen, and I'm going to tell them, I'm just going to start like this. This is not the ranking of importance. This is the way that it's listed on the bottom of my screen. The first one I want to bring in is none other than my big brother. Me and him been friends since 1999. He's a year older than me. We went to Merville High School together and never lost touch. He's been there at every major step, and he's been an encourager and my friend, my brother. And I want to make sure I bring him on. Eric Gainey Jr. We thank God for Eric.
Well, what's up, everybody? Hey. Glad to be here today.
Right. My other brother. Now I'm about to bring the next one on. This is my man, 100 grand, my covenant brother. We couldn't be no closer if my mother had him myself. He is a bishop in the Lord's Church. Ladies, he is single. So I got my single brother on here. And he's a bishop in the Lord's Church, my brother, business owner, entrepreneur, my guy, my right hand brother. I'm sorry, Bishop LeVar Harris, brother Bishop. What's up, man? Say something to me.
What's going on, man? I'm glad to be here, bro.
If nobody else got his coffee, he got coffee.
My man.
Just in case I run out.
I like it.
We're going to have a good time on today.
All right. So listen, LeVar, I'm about to bring on one of our brothers. He 3'5'7".
Really?
He's standing on the square.
No, he's not.
Worshipful master. My brother, my Masonic brother, Brother Daryl, he is here with us. I got two more cats to bring on. Listen, I brought out some big guns today.
What's up, Fred?
What's up, bro? How you feeling tonight? Oh, excuse
doing
me,
good,
Bishop. How you doing tonight? Good.
So look,
lady, good evening.
Good evening.
Look, I got my little brother who acts like he's the big brother, but he is the little brother. I'm older than him, but he acts like he is in charge of Eric and I. He's in charge of me.
Hey, man.
But I brought him on. Let me tell you, he's got the anointing on his life. He's got God in his life, and he understands what it is to be a husband, a father, and a man. My brother, beloved, my brother Greg Gainey is on.
Hey, everybody.
Minister. And last but not least, my petty partner, Tony Petty.
No doubt.
How's everybody doing this evening? How's everybody doing?
Tony.
You.
All right, listen, fellas. I'm grateful that y'all came in. Thank you again for you taking some time out of our busy schedule to do this with us on the night. So listen, we're gonna get right in there. First of all, everything we do, we bring God in it. Let's pray. Father, we thank you because you've been great, you've been kind, you've been faithful, you've been with us all week long. Now, God, order our steps and watch our mouths. Help us let somebody's life be better because you showed up in this place. Let somebody be delivered because they saw Christ in us so they can see Christ for themselves. This is our prayer, in Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. I always invoke God in the presence of everything that we do. Now, here's what I do. Okay, check this out, y'all. Y'all been tuning in over the last couple of weeks, and you have seen and heard what these women been saying.
Yeah.
These sisters have been really coming up to the men. They have had a whole lot to say, and I felt like this week I was like, my brother's got to say something. Mm-hmm. Because all of us ain't out here running women. All of us ain't out here playing games. All of us ain't out here looking to do any kind of way. Some of us just want a real woman who's going to do some real woman things to help us build and not be our mamas. So I want to jump in and jump in this conversation. First person, I'm gonna put a question on the floor, and I'm gonna start with my single brothers, Daryl and LeVar. I'm gonna start with them first. LeVar, is women in 2020 trying to be your mothers or your mates?
Wow,
your
loaded question. I'm looking at depending on the age bracket and what they already been through. A lot of people, a lot of women in this age feel like they have to raise up these young men, and they don't have a lot to pick from. Be honest with you, but when they do come correct to a real one, it's hard for them to adjust because they've been dealing with make up your bed, straighten up your closet, and all these with these other men. But when they come to a real one, it's hard for them to adjust to having a real one right there. So yeah, you got a lot of them being mama. In that age, in the age bracket of, I don't want to offend nobody, but we got some older women that don't mind telling you you can't go out. You need to clean up, and they don't know how to handle us right now, or they don't want to know how to handle real women right now.
So
Are you there? You hear me?
I can hear you. So let me ask you a question. When a woman says you can't go somewhere, what's the reaction?
You talking to me?
Yeah, you started.
That's my reaction. No. You missed it. You talking to me?
Right. Oh, that's your reaction.
I can't do what? I paid for this car. What? Excuse me, First Lady. You said something?
A woman really telling you can't go somewhere? Like, is that what women are doing right now? I'm asking.
Yeah, come on now.
Women.
I'm being honest.
There are lots of women in relationships that feel like they have to tell you what you can and cannot do and expect for you to respect that. And sometimes it really based on their income bracket also, because they might be the breadwinner in the household. They feel like they control the household when that's not the case at all.
Well, PM, I would say this as well. I would say not only they're the breadwinner, but they have a dominant demeanor because they've been running the house by themselves for so long. They've been raising kids for so long. They don't know how to cut it off when they have a man in the house that's able to do those things that they've been waiting for. So it's hard for them to turn it off. And not just that, they're afraid to turn it off until they can trust you.
Exactly. I totally agree with that.
Trust.
So that's go ahead.
Not only that, that level of trust does come with a matter of time also. But like you said, these women are so busy being independent, they don't know how to sit back and let a man do for them. Even when they feel like you probably should not, they don't understand that a real man knows how to control where he's going. So if he decides that he's going to make a sacrifice to do something for you, he's made the preparation to do it, and you don't need to monitor how he's managing his time or his money.
So it goes back to age bracket of the woman. It goes back to how that woman was raised and how long that woman been by herself. A lot of times we got to be careful when we're choosing the woman we want to be with. We have to find out their background, how long you've been by yourself, to allow me to know how hard this battle is going to be breaking through all of these cinder blocks.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
can I jump in real quick? Say something.
Please jump.
I like what brother Bishop Harris said. Right. A lot of times we don't really take our time and look at, you know what I'm saying, the mindset of a woman that we're interested in. We look at that body though. We look at that face, and we will overcompensate or ignore a lot. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't lying, bro.
She fine or she crazy, but she fine. We all said that.
Post your cash app right there. She crazy, but she fine.
Crazy, but she fine. That should be a shirt.
Because we would deal with crazy if she
You
fine.
know what I'm saying? But
Go ahead.
I was saying, so we ignore that and we don't get a chance to listen. We don't get a chance to listen to what they're really saying. We don't get a chance to really learn what they're really saying. We don't really get a chance to understand who they were, who they are, and who they're trying to be, right? And I think if we were to take time to really understand that, right? And I think if we were to take time to understand who we are, really, right? To who we are, who we were, who we are, who we're trying to be, if that matches up, then that's the direction you should go in, right? A lot of times we just ignore it, man, because she you know, she's nice, she got a nice little body, she got fat booty or whatever, and we don't care, you know what I'm saying? And we
here's my debate on that. Here's my debate on that. We're talking about real men, right?
Yeah.
When you come to the integrity level of real man, not younger stage man, you look at the body, you look at the face, but then you sit back and say it's not worth it because I've been there. You've already matured to a level now that it looks good. I've been there. I done that. I got the T-shirt and all that. Right now, there's no hesitation for me to think about where you've been through it. Your conversation gonna tell me how hard I'm gonna have to fight, and if it's even worth the fight. After a month or 2 months, you gonna tell me you don't know if it's worth the fight. Getting past all the looks, you don't know by now.
How many real men you know? How many real men you know that's struggling right now and got extra stress because they didn't do what you just said? So real men,
I agree.
So real men, they definitely, you know what I'm saying, they get caught up too. Adam was a real man. Solomon, well, women been doing this since conception. You know what I'm saying? Like all of it. Go ahead, Jamie. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go say what you finished saying, Eric. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
you see this? This will get you a new bag. This will get you.
All I'm saying is, man, I think that a lot of times we jump because, you know what I'm saying, it's what we want to do because we love that. We love what we see.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I mean, really.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me say this. Men like things that are pleasing to their eye. It's our natural instinct. Ain't no. If I'm not, we're gonna do with that. Ain't no. I look past her outer appearance and saw her inner appearance, but I ain't attracted to her outer appearance. No. Real men want to.
No, that's please. No, I didn't say that.
No, I'm just saying. I didn't say that. I know you didn't.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, we want both. We don't want just. You gotta be attracted to it visually, and when you know, and I think as you mature, you want somebody that you're attracted to internally.
Right. Because I don't think, yo, like you saying, if you're attracted to her physically, you're gonna give her a little bit of time, but you ain't gonna go too far if you're not really compatible. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So look,
I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying.
Go ahead, Greg.
I think the question was, are women mothers, or are they trying to date you? I think that was the question you posed, right, James?
That was, but it kind of shifted in a whole different direction. So go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, no, I was just trying to bring it in and try to figure out when we were what we were talking about.
Oh, we answered that question. We were going to the next question.
That's what we're talking about. What we talking about?
The next thing is that I'm glad you brought it in. Kelly Williams said there isn't anything wrong with an alpha female. So let me hit Tony with that. Tony, is there anything wrong with an alpha female?
No, there's not. But to me, there's nothing wrong. You can have an alpha female and an alpha male in the same household. It's just a balancing act. It's just a balancing act to me. You know, it's like one is not going to be more than the other, because if you're in the household together, you're doing things equally. It's not my way is the only way and your way is not the only way. It's our way together and how we're going to make this successful. So you can have both.
Eric.
Yeah. Okay. That's a loaded question for me, right? Because I think we were raised. Well, hold on. Let me back up a little bit. All right. Let me say this. Can you be an alpha male? I mean, alpha female. I don't know what an alpha female is. I don't know what an alpha male is. I think that you take lead in certain situations. I think if you have a relationship where I'm weak, you pull me up to help me out, and where you weak, I pull you to help you out. Now, do I lead my household? Yes, I lead my household. I'm the head of my household, and I lead my household very strong, right? I got all of that. But yo, when you take ego out of it when you become one, I mean, I think that's dumb. You know what I'm saying? The say I'm an alpha female or I'm an alpha man. Yo, look, God ordained me as the head of this household, so I'm gonna be the head of the household. So you lead, right? I get my orders from God, and we live in that, right? And I think I don't really get the whole alpha female thing, man. I don't. Now I think women, they take on responsibilities because men won't. Some men and some women, but some women will take on responsibilities that men won't do because they just won't do them, and then they'll have to do them and have no choice. And then now everybody looking at them like, well, why are you doing that? Well, because you wasn't doing it. And now it may be a dynamic in the house that's foreign and nobody want. But you know what I'm saying? And I don't need to speak to, you know what I'm saying, my house on that one, right? And my personal stuff. I don't do no alpha female, no alpha man. I just do, I'm the leader here. It's my house, and I'm the head of it, and we gonna follow God on that.
So let me ask this question to us, Daryl. Being single and dating, have you noticed that there are a lot of aggressive alpha type female? And from what I'm trying to, my interpretation of alpha means very strong and opinionated and really like, I don't need you to do this for me. I can do this by myself type situation.
Yes, there are those women out there. But then again, like I was saying last week, society has dictated to a lot of women, especially these black women, that they have to be this alpha type female because they want them to be strong, they want them to be aggressive, they want them to be independent, but they're putting aside the role that God has ordained for them to be in a relationship. And sometimes it's hard for them to revert back to that goal. It's hard for them to be submissive and be successful, which is really tough in a relationship these days. But I always tell them, I have one rule when I'm dating, and that's it, that you must allow me to treat you like a lady.
So I guess knowing the person that asked the question, I guess the term alpha female would then need to be defined. And I'm thinking an alpha female is someone who is independent, who handles her own, is raising her own kids, who is paying her own bills, and therefore doesn't necessarily need a man. She probably wants a man. She wants somebody to come in, but the need is not there. So it's almost like, okay, I want you here, but I really don't need you. Really, does that make sense?
That's a struggle for men, and let's talk about that. When women act like they don't need you.
Yo, I don't think anybody needs anybody though.
No, but every man, I don't know, but every man who's either dating a woman or in a relationship with a woman or looking for a woman, they want to feel like that person wants them and needs them to be in their life. Like nobody, I don't want to be an option.
No, but I guess I'm saying like, I think my mother used to always tell me to like know who you are, right? Know who you are before you get into a relationship, right? I get that. My dad did too, but I think when you find that person who you can fully realize who you are in yourself, I think that's the goal, right? If I'm with somebody and I think you win. I got an echo.
Bro, I fixed it.
There you go. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying like I think if I'm with my wife, she helps me fully realize who I am, and I help her fully realize who she is, like in our own self, right? I don't really need her to complete me, and she don't need me to complete her. And I think that's how you win, yo.
So I don't think it's. I think it is. I'm not saying that she needs me to have life, but everybody in relationship wants the person that they're either seeking to be with or to be with to feel like they are a part of this whole puzzle. But a lot of times when you are treated as an option,
Right. I got you, Sam.
it lessens how it almost makes you feel less than who you are.
Oh yeah, yeah. What's the point?
Yeah, and no, from my point of view is don't diminish my role trying to prove your strength.
Facts.
Exactly.
Because I know how strong you are.
Facts.
But you don't have to try to show, I can do this by myself. Because the moment you can show that you can do it by yourself, you don't need. What's the purpose of me being here?
Exactly.
And I think too oftentimes, and I'm some sisters gonna get mad at me. Too often times, women overstep who they supposed to be.
You are on to
when it ain't necessary. We already know who you are. So, I can do this. I never said you couldn't. As a man, I want to be able to do this for you. I'm trying to say, Denise, we first got together. Denise had a flat tire on her car. I took it to the place. I was trying to air it, and somehow the little piece of the thing bent. So we were there. I got the guy to fix it at the gas station. She says to me, "I'm used to getting my own air in my tire, and if I would have did it like this, the piece would have never bent inside of it." But you don't have to do that.
Right. Hey, Jay, what you saying is we yo, you right. Men, we have to feel like we're needed. Otherwise, what's the point? I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I understand that totally.
Yeah, I get that.
Go ahead. No, wait a minute. Greg was ready to say something. What you ready to say, Greg?
Go ahead.
No, I wasn't gonna say anything, but I will now. Since I'm raising 3 girls, man, and I'm not raising them to be less than, I'm raising them to be tough. I'm raising them to be independent, and not raising them to think that they need somebody to make them or enhance who they are. Men or black men especially, or black people, we're not a monolithic people. We're different, right? And so your strength can be one thing, and my strength can be one thing. The beauty is that if we don't try to change or alter that, we find space. And so if you're strong with economics, or you're strong with health, or whatever your strength is, and I may not be as strong in that, I think it's great to not diminish you or me feel diminished, but to partner together. And I think that's kind of the weird thing that we don't get a chance to talk about or put in the front. I think the front of the conversation should be we're partners, and what partnership looks different in every household, or it looks different in every relationship. I don't know about the gentleman here on this panel, but I know for me, there's some things that I do very well, and there's some things that my wife, she does very well. Does that make me less of a man because she can handle some things better than me, or does it make her less than a woman because I can handle it? No, I just think that we agree, and it takes away the stress.
Right.
Eric, Greg, I totally agree with you on that, man. We definitely have a partnership, and I think that the premise of that point was that everybody, as I think Kelly was an alpha female, which knowing that person is somebody who can do it all for themselves. And in a relationship, everybody wants to feel their part. Everybody wants to have a piece of what we're doing to their success, that we're working together in unity. Denise is better with managing finances, paying bills than I was when we first got together. So I gave her that. I had to say, listen, that ain't my strong thing. I walk around with $1,000 in my pocket and no money in the bank. That was dumb. I walk around with all the cash in the house and in the bank, and because I ain't trust the bank. Oh, they ain't gonna hold my money.
Right.
That's the mindset that I had to be broken out of. That she showed me how to do it a better way. But then I showed her that, hey, there's some things as my woman, although I'm raising 3 daughters, who I'm teaching them to be independent and not dependent on persons, but I'm also teaching them to understand this is what a man does for a woman. You ain't gonna have to do this because when you get a husband, this is what he should teach you. Like, this is how he should handle you. This is what it do, and you don't have to diminish. Neither one of you will have to diminish each other in this process. But both of y'all have value to the table. Just like my wife and I, we talk about decisions. We make them together. If God told me to do something, I say, hey, this is the Lord told me to do, and she go with it. I told her a couple of days ago, I said, all right, this is what I'm seeing directly we're going to go in. She's like, all right, babe. She was with it. I talked to her about it. We were in agreement about it. We're moving forward with it. But it's not a one person overtakes the other person. And it's not that her opinion don't matter. It's the reality of it is God gave me a vision. Here's what God is showing us we're going to go to. This is the promised land. And as I'm following God, I need you to roll with me. And that's what has been the go ahead. My wife has a question.
No, you said a little while ago, you said that women sometimes go beyond what they're supposed to be. And I think Sister Kelly posed a very important question. What are we supposed to be?
Help me.
What does that mean? Define that for me.
Define.
Like
your whole life.
Meet me where I need help. Meet me where I need help. That's really what it means, right?
When you said that, I knew you were in trouble because Kanice's face.
Boy,
hey, yo.
Boy, I saw that coming.
Hey, I was trying to take it for you, Jay.
He was like, no, this ain't gonna go well with you.
Look here, and she just switched shit.
That's the crazy part. Like you double dipped and like. I'm like, yo, no, backpedal, get out of there. Come on.
Mayday.
Bruh. Somebody gonna need a healing hand now.
So but Kanice is my helpmate. She is the one that God has given me as the person as we are leading our family. And then, so she's not less than me, but there's a responsibility that I have as the head of my household, as the priest in my home, that I have responsibility to lead this family. And I said it last week, and I'll say it again this week. If we fail, it ain't on her. It's on me.
Yo, facts.
And so I'll never diminish who she is, but my job is to protect and provide. 2020, hey, we both need both incomes.
Jamie.
But my role, and so if she go down, I still gotta produce.
Hey, Jamie, I don't know if you can do it. I don't know if you can put your hand here for a high five. But bruh,
that's
there
just
you go.
That's just the reality. Is she my wife? Absolutely. Is she my good thing? Absolutely. Has her life been better since God has put us together? And has my life been better since God? Absolutely. Am I what God is calling me to be for her and I'm still working on things? Absolutely. But I'm never going to stop being, and this is just to ladies that I'm never going to stop being the head of my house to make somebody feel better about themselves.
Right.
Because then
here's a good question. Here's a good question.
I just need clarity.
Here's a good question, Bishop.
Right back on.
As single men, and I'm pretty sure that Brother LeVar can feel the same way. How do we insert ourselves in that role without the women feel like they're being challenged as individuals? Now, that is one of the things that we come up against, because these women out here are independent. They are living their lives. They're doing their things. They're providing for themselves, and oftentimes raising children by themselves. They have their own home. They're paying their own bills. But so are we. But in building a new relationship, it does become challenging.
So I heard a couple of years ago, one of my members told me, Pastor, I want a husband who got a job, who make this kind of money, who doing this and who doing that, who got his career together, got his own home, got his own stuff going on. I said, okay, that's great. I said, so what do you bring to the table? Oh, I can cook and clean.
There's more than that.
Right. I can clean my own.
Bro, like you can do all of that. Even sex get old after a while. You gotta do other stuff, bro. Like, and I think a lot of times, man.
But sex is important.
Oh no, hold on, brother. It's important as air. It's important as air. And I'm not even being away, but it really is. But I'm saying, like a lot of people, but men too, though, right? A lot of men, I'm not trying to be like that one dude on Facebook that be all playing pro women, because then he got all the women in his DMs and nothing like that. I'm not saying that, but I'm just literally saying that it's important for a person to come to the table with more than one thing. Women come to the table with sex and looks and like all of that, and they ain't got nothing else going for them. But then at the same flip of the coin, on the other side of it, men come to the table with just money, and they ain't got no cooking skills, and they ain't got no life skills and stuff too. So I think, you know what I'm saying, like you got to find out where you fit. It's like you got to really fit. It's not cookie cutter, bro. You got to find what works for you, right? If I'm lacking, like for real, I'm okay with, I was in the Navy, so I know how to do laundry. I can cook for myself, right? But my wife, you know how to, you know what I'm saying, she a little bit better than, you know what I'm saying, me, a whole lot better than me when it comes to cooking and laundry and all of that stuff, where then I take care of things outside the house, right? And that's just, you know what I'm saying, that's one aspect, right? But at the same time, man, where I'm weak, she dope at. And then where I'm dope at one thing, she may be weak at. So we dope together.
But you know, and I'm glad the last point was that y'all dope together. Because where I'm weak at, she's strong, where I'm strong at, she's weak. And we are confident in our connection that we are not intimidated by somebody else's strengths and weaknesses. One of the biggest things I see that people struggle with, I'm going to go to the next question, is that one or the other is intimidated by somebody else's strengths and leadership ability. When you know who you are, I'm not intimidated because my wife is better at paying bills. I ain't intimidated by it. And it took me a minute, I'm going to be honest with you. It took me a minute to trust her with my money. Because what I realized is I can trust you with my heart, but not with my cash. And something was seriously wrong with that picture. And I had to get to the place where I realized if she can control my heart, why can't I trust her with my resources? Why can't I trust her with everything I got? Because I think somebody asked the question, is relationships 50-50? No, relationships are 100-100.
There you go.
Invest in them. It can't be I'm holding out a part of this and I'm holding out a part of that. It's no. It's 100. If you really want a successful relationship and you want somebody who's going to be 100% invested in you and you 100% invested in me, because right now people are getting into relationships with escape plans and not stay plans. Wanda Cofield asked the question. You know I can't see that.
How long do you wait for a woman to learn to trust you if she has been on her own forever?
How long do I wait for a woman to trust me?
Mm-hmm.
First, you got to figure out her trust issues, and she's going to tell you that on numerous of dates that you go on and start talking to you about past relationship. Once you find out her trust issue, that'll determine how long you're gonna wait. Some women got so deep of a trust issue. Are you really willing to deal with it? Because it could be years. It's up to that man on how long he's going to go through the relationship, the dating process, the engagement process. But once you find that out, don't stick in there longer than you should. Then you'll irritate the relationship because you're tired of it. So when I start talking to a woman, it's like once you start telling me my ex did this, I don't trust men are dogs and all this other stuff, it's time for me to bail out. I'm pulling the ripcord right there. If that's the first date, I'm out. If that's the 30th date, it depends on that man, what he can handle.
Daryl?
Respect.
I agree. And there is no timetable on it. You will watch the progression of the relationship and you'll be able to know whether or not that woman is going to trust you. You can see if things are moving in that direction, if things are beginning to progress, then of course you want to stay a little bit longer to see if it's going to work its way out. But like Bishop said, once you see that she continues to throw these blocks up and know that she can't get by them, there's no way that you can penetrate that wall that she's not willing to help you break it down. You know, it isn't.
You got to be willing to help you because that's her issue. She has to be willing to help you. You can't do that on your own.
Both have to help each other with those issues.
And Daryl, it's more dangerous to try to break it down because you don't know what's behind that wall. She got Gatling guns back there. Then you can't walk nowhere by yourself. So if she got a mental issue or a heart issue or a hurt that she can't get by and she's not helping you, sometimes it's best to leave that wall up and keep on walking. To God be the glory. I'm out.
I have a different perspective, just my contribution. And I respect the brothers that are single. But from my contribution and what I see, I've learned that you it takes as long as it takes, and if you love that woman, you're gonna just love her and show her that she can trust you for long, no matter how long it takes. There are times when I've been married for 12 years. Yes, sir.
I got a question. Now, is this while you dating that you love this woman? Is this where you just met this woman? Where are we at? Because if I'm loving this woman, then I've done gone past the trust issue.
Well, if the
I just said I'm gonna stick in there for a little while. If I'm loving you, it didn't happen my first 2-3 weeks, maybe first 6 months. So if I'm loving you, telling me I've been there for a while, yeah, you're gonna have to stick that out for a little while.
Well, I guess what I'm saying, if the trust issue isn't yours and it's hers, if she has the trust issue and you've been dating for some time, of course, I mean, not first date, of course, but I mean, if you've been dating for some time, or either if you at the first date say, you know, I think this is somebody I'm interested in. I mean, and you don't have to jump straight to love, sure, but love is patient, right? So if you're going to love her, then you'll be patient with her, and if she's going to love you, she'll be patient with you, and then that's when trust builds. I don't think that any married man watching this or anybody married woman watching this can say that there aren't times where you don't go through trust issues. You go through trust issues in any relationship. You do that in business. You do that, man. You do that even with your pets. Like, can I trust them in the house, or do I need to? You know, is this certain things because of free will? And I don't mean to get like deep or anything like that. I'm just saying, if you really want to be with the person, then you give them time, and if you really want to be with them, then you give them as long as it takes.
Right on, money.
Because it's a living thing. Like, it's never like, oh, I trust you and that's it. No, because life happens and then you mess up, and so okay, now you got to earn some trust back. Or life happens and you just feel insecure. Okay, I did trust you, but now I'm getting a little older and some things didn't happen yet, or some things that did happen took away some trust. It's a living thing, and it never just like, oh yeah, this is it. I trust you forever. This is it. It just grows.
And then as women, we're never. Well, a wise woman is never relinquish all of her trust in the beginning anyway.
I agree.
That's something that takes time to build, and it's going to take time to grow from jump.
You earn it.
You earn it.
So you and I agree with Greg. I agree with you. And so let me say from marriage will bring out the best or the worst of you.
Every time.
Yes, it will.
It will show you what your strengths are, and it will expose
your weaknesses.
Everybody said
your weaknesses. It's not designed for you to quit, but it's designed for you to work at it. And so, what a lot of times now, and I said this a minute ago, we plan for escape strategies and not to stay in it and work through it. Because all of us have issues that when you get in a relationship, you didn't even realize you had until you got into a relationship. And so I think a lot of times we got to start looking at, how do I start really building from my broken place that I didn't know I had. Go ahead.
Yo, don't you make a choice every day? Don't you make choices every day to love a person, every day to trust a person, every day to, you know what I'm saying, respect the person, every single day? I mean, I think there's time. That's never perpetual, yo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's even in the same day. Like, you feel like sometimes, yo, if I know for a fact, if my wife does something that's crazy, you know what I'm saying, I may fly off the handle, you know what I'm saying, or vice versa. She may fly off the handle. For me, let's just say, I don't know, if I do something that's crazy, you know what I'm saying, like in her eyes, you know what I'm saying. But at the same time, I love her and respect her always. But yo, she may call me like, yo, man, I can't believe you a lazy didn't put this, you know what I'm saying, your shirt in a dirty clothes hamper or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Is it respect in the way that she say it all the time? No. Is it respect in the way I respond to her? No. You know what I'm saying? It's a choice every day that you make, yo. And I don't think trust is no different than that. I think
you have to really lead your heart to love daily.
Facts.
It's a daily investment that you are praying yields a return.
Yes.
Yeah, I wish that because every day I make the choice to love her more than I loved her the day before. And here's my prayer. I'm gonna share this with y'all. My prayer: God, don't let me be the thing that messes up our marriage. Don't let my ego mess up our marriage. Don't let my pride mess up our marriage. Help me love her past her issues and give her the strength to love me past mine.
Right.
That's one of my prayers for my wife and I. That I pray while I'm driving to work daily, because I want to make sure that I'm not the cause of something that's breaking her. And I think a lot of times in this new modern age and what people are dealing with, we really don't have that conversation. Like, what about me is hurting you? And how can I stop doing what I'm doing? I may not even know what I'm doing that's making you feel the way that you feel. And so there's a ton of questions that are coming through, but I want to ask this question. Do you all feel like in 2020, and this is to my married and single brothers on here, do you all feel like in 2020, women have a problem with submission?
Not if you do it right.
No, I don't know, brother. I don't know how to.
No, not if you lead right. If you lead right, I don't think they do. Right? If you got your stuff together, right? I think that they don't have a problem with it. See, there's a difference between leading and being a dictator, right? There's a difference between you know what I'm saying, ruling with an iron fist and leading your household. I think a lot of times as Christian men, you know what I'm saying, we get these concepts in our heads that, yo, we gotta be, you know what I'm saying, so strong, and you gotta do what I say and all of that stuff, man. Nah, Slim, that ain't gonna work like that. You're gonna lose your house like that. Yo, they gonna fear you, but are they gonna love and respect you? Right? I think it's corny for a man to rule like this and not have open arms to hug. You know what I'm saying? To show that love, yo. I think, and if you showing that, I think the submission falls into place.
LeVar?
I believe it's the individual woman. I honestly believe it's and I'm not trying to have a political correct answer. I believe that there's some women that don't mind submitting when they find a man like Eric said, that's a good leader, that don't mind leading. But our issue is that we have a lot of men that's wishy-washy in leading. They get to pick when they want to lead. They bow down and don't lead where they should lead, and then they want to jump up where it's easy to lead. So then you have a woman again with the trust issue. I don't trust you to lead. So it's up to that woman. You'll learn that as you go along. You'll find out what she's able to submit to. Because maybe she don't have issues submitting to the husband. She might have issues submitting to a man that won't submit to God or that won't listen. You understand what I'm saying? It's hard. Being military, Eric said he's military. I don't have a problem submitting to a gunnery sergeant that's been through some stuff. I got a problem with submitting to a butterbar lieutenant that's wishy-washy.
Right.
Now the lieutenant is higher than the sergeant.
Right.
Amen.
Guess what? This butterbar don't know nothing, and he will back out in the middle of the battle.
Exactly.
The gunny, he's
Exactly.
gonna do.
Facts.
So that determines. That's got a lot. That's a loaded question.
I know. That was definitely that's why I asked the question. Daryl. Greg, don't get too comfortable because I'm coming to you after him.
I agree. I think that that LeVar said a whole lot that is very factual, and this is not just an opinion of what we see. These are the things that we hear the women say, because sometimes you have to listen to what it is that they're actually looking for. And if you can't be that man and can't be that leader that they're looking for, there's no way they're going to submit to you. If you can't show that you have a backbone, that you can be a strong man and be a man of God, there's no way that they're going to submit to you. It's just not going to happen.
All right. I think these brothers summed it up. Great answers. I agree with everybody. Everybody said it's really great.
From a woman's perspective.
Hear me?
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I think these brothers summed it up. I think it was really good answers. I agree with what they said. Yeah, really. I think I think submission is an art, and it's just something that we continue to learn how to do daily, both male and female, as we submit to God and they submit unto us as we submit unto God.
Amen.
But submission is earned. It's not given. I feel like
it's like respect.
earned. So in order for her to really submit to you, He's got to be comfortable with seeing your track record of following God in the process.
Let
me finish what I'm saying. Let me defend my point, brother Bishop. Let me argue my point. That's we're in church. Let me argue my point.
Got you, brother.
Here's what I'm saying. That I'm saying women will naturally submit to you if they see the purpose and the power of submitting to you. But here's what I discovered: there's a lot of males operating and pretending to be men, telling women to submit, and when they do, or they get into these relationships, these males are not following God. So now you got a messed up woman who said, "I followed a male who said they were following God," but people come to find out they weren't following God. God wasn't leading them. God wasn't nowhere in them, and now my life is jacked up.
Okay, I'm with you.
So I ain't talking about the 5 brothers on here, but I'm talking about that there is a lot. I've seen this a lot of cases that women are willing to submit, but they picked wrong leaders.
I feel you now, little brother. Hey, you had me. I didn't know where you were going with that, but I hear what you're saying. You messed me up first.
You've been with me long enough. I'm gonna paint the picture, brother. I'm gonna paint the picture.
Yeah, LaVar, I feel you. Yeah, no, you all right, cool. No, you right on.
All right, so
wait, do y'all want to hear what? Since we talking about women, y'all want to hear what I have to say about submission or not?
go ahead. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Come on, beautiful. Come on, beautiful. Say it.
Well, so women are, first of all, submission and trust go hand in hand, right?
yes.
I trust you to be able to submit to you. I have to trust your leadership. Someone said, I can't submit to you. I can't trust you to lead me if you don't know where you're going.
Right.
I have to trust your leadership. I have to trust that you won't abuse my submission, meaning that you won't just take advantage of me submitting and know what I said anyway.
Hey, Kenise, can I ask you a question from what you said? And I'm so sorry. I know I cut you off, but I have to ask you a question. Okay. So the Bible says submit to your husband, and you know what I'm saying? It don't say submit to your boyfriend. So during that courtship and during the dating time, should you not know all of that stuff and trust them and gain and all of that stuff, know his characteristics and all of that stuff during that time that you getting with him and all that stuff? So by the time you marry, you should I'm ready to submit to him.
Absolutely. That's what the dating process is for. Okay. You date so that you can know, hey, can I submit to this person? Can I trust this person? Is it like, am I going to be able to trust them to follow God, to follow Christ? Because the Bible also says, men, love your wives as Christ loves the church, right?
Yes.
If you're not loving me like Christ loved the church, why am I following you? Why am I submitting to you?
No, I'm agreeing with you, right? And I agree with that point. But my thing is this: a lot of women will find themselves in relationships, and I know the sisters are probably going to light me up in the comments when I say this. But they'll find themselves in relationships that they have been in, and now they like, dang, I can't submit to you because you ain't doing this or you ain't doing that. When in actuality, if they were getting to know that person and looking for that person during the courtship, during that relationship before you got married, I think that you would have avoided a lot of that stuff. Not saying that people don't change, sisters. Right. I promise you. I promise you that. But what I am saying is that if you're dating a person all along, you know he ain't paying his bills on time. You know he's trifling. You know he's dirty. You know that, right? Just like we know you ain't picking up after yourself. You got the whole Phoenix Salon suite in your hair after you do your shower. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But we know your habits is all I'm trying to say, right? We know your habits. You know our habits. We know your habits. And if y'all don't shut up, you know your habits. You know my habits.
I like that.
So you know what I'm saying? Like what I'm saying is, yo, you know if you can submit to that person, and that person know if you can submit to that person, and vice versa, right?
Right. That's what the process is for.
Yeah, and I think honestly, we take advantage of the dating process a lot. You know, we get to learn that person. I think we so infatuated with that person. They go home usually I go home usually, you know what I'm saying, and we skip over.
It's like a sport though, right? Because you got regular season LeBron, you got playoff LeBron, right? So it's reversed when you dating. When you dating, it's like best foot forward. When you married, it's like, yeah, okay, we're gonna be real. You know what I mean? It's gonna be real, or not even a relationship.
Right.
Kenny said something that I wanted to talk about. It's kind of one of the things that I hear a lot in conversations. It said, you can't trust somebody to lead you if you don't know where they're going. That's a hard thing for me to accept because there are times. Well, I get it, and it's smart. It makes sense, but I feel like there are times when we may not know where we're going or where we're headed. We just know that there's something that's ahead. We have to go ahead. It feels good for a man to have a wife or a girlfriend or a spouse that can say, I may not know where you're going, but I trust you enough to get us there. And I also trust that whatever lack that you have, whatever shortcoming you have, that together we can get there together. I think that's really a thing that can be a good contribution to anybody that's looking to be married, to maybe look at it with a different perspective. Because sometimes I don't know, as a guy, maybe we're looked at to have it all together, but sometimes you just don't know. Maybe sometimes you don't know if you're going to take this job in another state or whatever. And if you I see your hand, brother, give me 2 minutes. But if maybe I don't know if you're going to take the job in another state. Maybe I feel like I'm led to do that. I'm just not sure. But if you trust that I make good decisions, or if you trust that no matter where I put us, we're going to be all right. We're going to be on solid ground. Then that just makes us feel better, and it puts the pressure on as well. Like, okay, I can't let you down because you gave me that. You gave me that leeway. You gave me that wiggle room.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bro. I'm sorry. You can go ahead.
No, I just wanted to back you up on what you were saying because it's so true. It goes back to my military analogies. You don't always trust the person that's leading you, but as you go along in your relationship, the battles that y'all win together builds that trust up. So now, at any point, Gunny said, "Jump in a ride." I'm not asking where we're going.
Right.
He said, "Get your rack and let's go." Because we've won these battles together. You didn't leave me behind. You communicated on the way. Even though you didn't know where you were going, you secured my emotions on the way through that. And I think that's what a lot of women want. You don't have to know where you're going, but on this ride, if you can secure my emotion or secure my heart while we're going, we can run into a pit. Secure me. Cover me. Don't let nothing happen to me. And that's, I believe, honestly, a lot of men forget that. We go through what we're going through and we cut them off when we go through our issue. We stop communicating. We stop giving the love and affections and all this. So it puts them in a non-trust area, or them trusting on someone else. That's where they find a friend on the side. They go back to daddy. They find their uncle or a play brother, because you didn't secure them on those battles that you didn't know if you were going to win or not. So I agree with you, bro. It comes with time. It comes through all those issues that you go through. Right. So that's all I was saying.
But let's add this element to it. While we are following God and going out there fighting battles and going out there fighting wars, it's the time when we come home and the time of recouping and revamping that will allow men to really open up and express what they're going through and what they're feeling and what direction the family is going. When you are fighting war outside the house, it's hard to come into any relationship and fight war in the house, and you want me to explain to you what's wrong.
Right.
I can't articulate what's wrong, because when I walk in here, I walk into another war zone, and I'm fighting in here.
Can't fight war.
I can't fight too. I said this to my wife, and I said this to all the sisters. A man can't fight in the world and then come home and fight, and you expect him to be able to have communication with you while he fights.
Can't do it.
I'm still in defense mode. I haven't laid my gun down yet. I haven't laid my sword down yet. And so if you want me to be able to talk to you, you've got to, and this is going to be, I'm going to get in trouble.
Put him in E flat, money. Put him in E flat.
Yeah, you got to create an environment. Come on, Greg. An environment to allow me to release it. So now you understand what direction I'm going in with the vision. and how we, and then watch this, that pillow talk, and it ain't gotta be in the bed, but it's gotta be the way it's presented, will allow me to let you show me something I ain't see. But I can't download when I'm in war because my guard went right back up.
Yes,
Does that
sir.
make, am I
Makes perfect sense.
Women fighting too. I'm sorry, LeBron.
Right.
I'll jump in front of you. Women fighting their battles too out there, yo. I gotta give it that. Women fighting.
I'm not saying that, but I think in the context of that conversation.
No. I'm just saying. Hold on. I'm just saying. Hold on. Little brother. Let me give you some right quick. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, yo, women fighting too is all I'm saying. And all I'm saying is that, yo, if we really care for each other, it should be a time. Home should be a place of peace, yo. Especially that bedroom. Not just for sex. It should be a place where I'm cared for, I'm attended to, and I'm loved on from top to bottom, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, dog. They battle out there just like us. We battle like there just like them. We should come home, and the house should be a place of peace for both sides, yo. And both
parties are responsible for that. Both parties are responsible for making a house a place of peace for both parties. But Kelly said something, and then Miss Petty said, and a lot of people are saying stuff, but I want to address this. Kelly said, I ain't talking about a job. I'm talking about overall life goals. So let me say this from a man point of view. Men, the 5 men I got on here.
What was the question?
No, I said I'm including myself. When you look at, she's talking about life. She said, well, I'm not talking about a job. I'm talking about life goals. Where you want to be a lawyer, you want to get married. And I'm going to say this: for men, the caliber of men that's on here, married and unmarried, we all have a plan for life. We ain't out here trying to figure out where we're gonna go at, what we're gonna do. Not saying life situation will happen, we gotta pivot and we gotta alternate. That's not what I'm saying. But we all have a plan for where we're trying to achieve, where we're trying to go at, what we want to accomplish. And so, sisters who are single, who are listening, God does not give you somebody who don't have a plan to take you somewhere.
That's right.
Not single. Somebody should right there.
That's right.
You out here just haphazardly doing stuff. You ain't out here just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go hack today. I'm gonna go out here and just be out here willy-nilly. No, that's not what we do. Mm-hmm. We got a plan. We have a purpose. We have an assignment. We have an agenda. And real men who are leading their families are leading with a plan, purpose, and agenda, and not just haphazardly moving day to day.
Right.
Y'all agree with me? Because I want to put that to rest on the idea that we out here with no plan. Nah, baby, we got a plan. We may not be able to always articulate it. We may not always have to put it on paper. But in our mind, when we sitting there quiet, you're like, what you thinking about? And you think about how you're going to get out of it, how you get to the next level. And you're looking at where you desire your family to be and where you are right now. And how you're going to take your family to get there. And how you're going to take your family to that next level. And how you're going to how you're going to ease the burden. Because the brothers who I know are men are not comfortable where they were 3 years ago. You ain't comfortable where you were last month. You ain't comfortable where you were last year. You're going to push the envelope. You're going to push the bar. You're going to say, how can I do better for my family than we did? I'm always, and every brother on here offers a different piece of that to my puzzle. I'm always looking how to make my life better for my wife, for my children. I've had conversations with Eric. I have conversations with LeVar. I've had conversations with Greg. I've had conversations with Tony. The only person I ain't talking about that with Daryl. But everybody else on here, we've had conversations about how we take life to the next level. How do we do more? And we pushing each other and we're thriving after it. And so a lot of times it is, we may not be able to always articulate it, but we always are driving forward. And God will only send you somebody who's going to push forward. Somebody said, but you can't do what is that? I can't see. I don't have no glasses.
But what you can't do is bring us women the world, leave it outside.
I don't know what that means.
Y'all think LeVar had his hand up, Jay?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, LeVar. You ain't got to raise your hand.
I believe she. Yeah, no. My raggedy computer would go crazy if a lot of people talk at the same time. But I think what she's talking about is where we just came from the conversation prior, talking about going home and having a peaceful home. And again, I'm gonna stick with what I do know, that military analogy. Our issue is we don't prep the DZ. We don't prep the drop zone. We don't make that phone call and say, babe, in the middle of the day, babe, I'm having a rough day. So, babe, this is happening, that's happening, so that when we get there, she can make it peaceful. She can put the kids to bed. She can do all. But our thing is, we walk right in the house, had a bad day, don't talk to me, shut up, kids, don't say nothing. And what you have done, you have impacted the whole house by
Isolated
your
yourself.
when you walk in the house.
Facts.
If you prep the DZ, you know you're going home at a certain time. Before you get there,
No,
Drop zone. It's a military thing, baby. Military, baby.
Yo, hold on. Let me help Let me help my fellow vet out. Yo, I think the drop zone is dope. Trust me. But I think what we really need to prep is the DMZ, demilitarized zone, and that should be
There you go.
right. Yo, I ain't bad. That's a DMZ is a place where in war you got a space where this side is strong and this side is strong, right? But the DMZ is a place where it's peace. Nothing going on there. So I think we need to build up that DMZ, that peaceful place. You know what I'm saying? Yo,
yeah,
have a place where I'm done. I'm not arguing with you here. I'm not arguing with you there. I just want to meet you here. And that's where we need
exactly.
to
And that takes the preparation that I'm talking about. You have to prep before you get there. And everybody needs to know the ground rules. Even if you pick a room, listen, we don't argue in this room.
Yeah.
This room, we don't talk about business. We don't talk about business here because we know it's going to lead to a problem. We don't talk about bills in the bed. Don't let me lay down and you want to talk about the bills because it's going to cause a peaceable place to become a war zone.
Yeah.
Then I don't want to go to bed.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we got to be very careful how we handle, and then when we get in there, just my beliefs. If you prep it, you'll have what you need, because you'll already know what you need before you get there. That communication throughout the day is very important, I believe.
Facts.
Greg, you're quiet, and then we can wrap this up in a couple moments, Greg. But I see your mind, your brain is going crazy. Talk to me.
No, I think everybody said the right stuff. Honestly, I mean, this is really good information. If anybody's listening with an open heart, they can have some insight. It really is important communication, like we just said, communicating throughout the day, and then also not just communicating, but being able to hear. I don't know if all of us have the capacity to actually hear. We listen and we, hear what the person said in their words, but what does that mean? What's the action behind that? And then, here's the other part that maybe I can contribute that on the other side of that coin, or in addition, everybody gets to have a bad day. You know what I mean? I get it. But you don't want to fill up those days with a lot of bad days, because bad days turn to bad weeks, weeks turn to months, months turn to years. Then you're miserable. And so I think finding out when it's time to do a hard reset is really important. My time with Janelle, I've learned that we need to have vacations, and maybe not always with the kids, but just like take some time, go to some water. That's our thing. Like, I love the water, and decompress. So yeah, of course, you don't want to have two wars on both sides, home and at work, but some days it's like that. You try not to hold a grudge.
But you know what? And I'm gonna say this. But sometimes our sisters have war zones too, and so we've got to be understanding that they at war too.
I mean, that's what everybody was saying. I think we're all in agreement of that. We really got to give each other space and try to figure it out.
Sometimes my war zone is here.
Listen, let me tell you something. If nobody else understands, I understand. On days when I'm here and I try to figure out how my wife didn't lose her mind.
Yeah. But I think you get it. And even my husband gets it. A lot of husbands don't get it though. They come in the house and they're like, the D zone, the DM zone, whatever it is out there. And I need to talk about everything that happened to me. And I got kids from the chandelier.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I need a snack. I'm thirsty. She pulling my hair. I got something in my foot. I'm tired. I need a bed. Stop drinking out the toilet. Like, come on.
It sucks.
Where do I get my help?
Wow.
Because you don't want to come. I don't want to come home and be the same thing everybody else has been all day. Like, they've already asked for 3 meals, and here I come asking for 1. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's just you got to care for the person you're with, man. You just got to care. And I think
Daily communication.
Just
Communicating
care,
throughout the day.
like, you know.
So can I say this? Real men care. Can that be our hashtag for the night? Real men care.
I like it, Jay.
If I get a percentage off of
That'll
it, yeah.
work.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Hey, real men care. All right. So listen, a couple people in here said we need a part two. We need a part two. Thank you all for jumping on. We are over an hour. I don't want to hold you all. Greg got to go spend time with Greg, Eric, Tony got to spend time with their families. LeVar and Daryl got to spend time with wherever they're going to spend time at. I got to get off. They single, ready to mingle. My brothers are single and ready to mingle. And so we're going to make sure they are have a free evening today. It's 8:36. We're over time. Thank you again, brothers, who came in. If y'all got some
All
more,
right.
there should be a part two. I'm gonna see if I can get my brothers to come back next week to do a part two as we conclude this series, and then we're gonna move on to our family, talking about families. I'm gonna ask them while we're on live. Can y'all come back next Thursday as we finish talking about a man's perspective?
Too easy.
Yes.
If you
Too
have
easy.
Thank you.
No doubt.
Only person that ain't say nothing is Daryl and they like.
I sure can.
Okay.
I sure can.
All right. I appreciate it. All right.
I have nowhere else to be.
I know that's right.
Please like our church's Facebook page, the Renewed Hope Church Facebook page. Follow Forward Ministries and the pastor of that wonderful church, my covenant brother, Pastor Greg Gainey, and as they are doing ministry that awesome church with awesome pastor and none other. Please also follow Sword of the Spirit Ministries under my beloved brother Bishop LeVar Harris. Both of them have services online every Sunday. If you follow them and like to Facebook friend request them, they're gonna show Greg gonna show his wife. LeVar gonna accept your request. He's single, ready to mingle. but you are attached to that ministry, and know what's going on. They will preach you under the table, but they will minister to you in a personal way. Love you all. God bless you. And
All right now.
Friday.
Peace and love.
All right now.